Good morning, everybody. Jody Brozick here with head coach Dan Aaker, pre-class 11B state football championship game. Dan, before we get to the championship game, let's go back to that Webster game. That was an entertaining game and a wild game for a fan, coach's perspective.
Well, we struggled a little bit in the first quarter. We had the interception, moved the ball. They moved the ball too, but we made stops. And then I thought late first quarter and everything up until 6 seconds of the second quarter, we really controlled the game. We had some nice field position. We never really had good field position pretty much the whole night. So we made some nice long drives and really went at them, 7, 8 yard, 9, 10 carry, and got to 22-0. Had a nice kickoff and a penalty, which put them inside the 5. Good defensive stand. They had to kneel down to catch a punt, get a safety. We get the ball back almost midfield with 1:20 to go, and our mind says we're going to get another one here. It could be 30-point spread at halftime. We take a sack, a penalty, fumble snap, and then give them the ball. And still, we get a sack and a penalty, and we have them, and where they have one shot at it, and they throw a Hail Mary, and we have two guys there, and they score. But they did it all year, and that's the crazy thing. We were in pretty good shape. We tried to knock the ball down, it slipped between us. You make a great catch and momentum, and but even then, we're in pretty good shape, 24-6. It was weird. I thought at halftime with our guys. There's just something different, and we talked about this leading up to it. Semifinal games are stressful, and there's a lot of pressure because it's such an extreme. It's either your season's over, you're playing for a state championship. You can't get any wider than that. I think some of that big play affected them a little bit. I felt like I was almost trying to have a pep talk at halftime because we had some deer in the headlight looks, which was a little concerning coming up in the second half. But at the same time, we're still up 24-6. And then big play central from them, and not only do they get the Hail Mary, they break a play. Joey Cole does a great job of stripping like we teach them to, and the ball goes in the end zone, and they recover the end zone barely, and it almost goes out. But that being said, we finally found some composure and made a nice offensive drive, a good counter punch, if you will, to get back up 2 scores, and boom, there they go with the kick return. I told you, before the game, how many they plus 10. It's amazing how they just did that all year. It's like they, just have magic, and you got to give them credit. What a resilient team, what a resilient, staff and players. Just never, you wouldn't think so watching their kind of demeanor on the field. You felt like you had them, like they were kind of beat, but nope, they'd make a play. So then we, after that, we made a drive and scored again and pressed with interception late to seal the deal. So it's probably good for us, because we talked about not having a lot of adversity a lot. We had a little bit in St. Thomas more, but probably needed that, and understand that we can overcome that if we do the things we talk about and trust each other. And that we had some seniors step up with that leadership we needed. Obviously, Trevor ran the ball really, really hard and looked good as always, but Brady had a couple nice runs in there, and so we'll take it. There's a reason they were undefeated, and I thought the difference truly was what we talked about, the physicality and them having to stop us and just coming at them. We would have liked a lot better defensive and special team effort, but offensively we scored enough points, and really they didn't stop us. So moving on. You talk about semifinals being memorable. That's another memorable one. It really was, and so those are the fun ones.
Is this team going to be just happy getting there, or is the goal not finished?
Yeah, that's what I left the team with Friday night. I didn't say a whole lot to them. Congratulations, and you've earned your spot now to play for one. And the only question I had, I said, I don't want any answers right now. I want you to think about this question over the weekend, is because it's a great accomplishment to get here. Are you okay with that? Are you satisfied with that? Because you see that sometimes, or do you really want more? And it wasn't because I knew what are they going to answer? Of course, they're going to tell me what I want to hear. But I really wanted them to think about it. All right, to truly think about it over the weekend. Is this what? Are we happy we made that step, or do we want more? Because Bridgewater is going to be hungry. No questions asked. They've been there last 2 years. Runner-up the last 2 years. Those seniors most of them have been on the field last 2 years. They're going to want that step. We have to match that. And I felt like this practice this week, no question in my mind that our guys are still hungry and we want another one. So, but I think that was something that needed to be thrown out, because I think you see that with teams sometimes, that it's such an accomplishment to get here. It's okay, but I don't think that's the mindset with their guys, and it shouldn't be. And but I think they've proven that this week in practice.
So you mentioned the opponent. It's Bridgewater Emery, then the Seahawks. They've been to back-to-back championships. We've faced them 2 times since they moved to 11B. Any differences between the teams we've seen in the past, or is it just the same team? Here they come, just like winter.
Yeah. Philosophies are very similar. Number one, they're very well coached. Jeff, tremendous record, and his staff is good there. Coach Hawkins does a lot for him too, and there's a reason that they're a contender. This game is 2 programs, not one-hit wonders here. These are 2 programs that are going head-to-head, which kind of makes it a little bit exciting. And philosophies are very similar. They do it a little different than we do. They're splitter eye back there and come right at you, and we're double wing and come right at you. But what we want to do, very similar. They want to run the ball. They want to play good defense. They'll play action. Sound familiar?
It does.
Yeah. That's what we do. And the times we played before, with the interviews with you, I've talked about, we have to be ready defensively, because they'll go on quick counts, they'll go on sound, and that's what they want to do. They just want to, boom, just get into you. And so that's what a big focus defensively for us has been. Line of scrimmage is going to be huge. That's probably the difference in the game, other than, if somebody turns it over and multiple times or whatever, obviously that can play a big factor. But who wins the battle up front will probably be in the best shape tomorrow afternoon. And I think that field position and time of possession and all those things is what we want. Both teams really want. We've talked a lot this week about positive possessions, and then what I mean by that is we've got to sustain drives and hopefully cap most of them off. But we can't go 3 and out and give them good field position or even midfield. We got to be able to move it, keep the ball in our hands, and they're thinking the same thing. Hawkins is a special player. Early in the year, I talked about the 3 H's in 11B with Hutmaker, Hastings, and Hawkins. After tomorrow, we've seen all 3, but he's a special player, and most of the stuff goes through him. This may sound crazy, but we would like to kind of shut everybody else down, because we know if they're one-dimensional, it's him. That's not necessarily a great thing, because he's that good a player, but we can't give him Holford, and we can't give him play action. We can't give all the things they want to do if we can kind of just crowd into Hawkins, and that'll be a test enough in itself, because he can run and throw, and he's their best defensive player too. He punts, kicks, returns punts, return kicks. I haven't seen a kid do as much for a team since Dvorak from Parkston, to be honest with you. He's that important to them, so he's a big focus, but it's not just him. Been really impressed with the 3 shutouts they've had in playoffs. So obviously they're playing good defense, and so offensively we got to execute, and that's what you have to do in these games. You can't play average. I still don't believe that we have to have a lot of breaks. I don't think we have to have the ball bounce the right way. I feel we just have to play a very good football game, which you should expect to have to do for a state championship. But these are evenly matched teams, and who can make the most plays, will probably be the winner. But the gap is not very big at all. So, and we reminded our guys that all this week. We don't need anything special to happen. We just need to play a good football game, play like we're capable of playing, and we'll be in good shape.
In respect to the length of the game, will this be the shortest one of all the games?
Well, we've had some pretty short ones. When you go back to the Domes with Tri-Valley, it's similar to that, because it's 2 things. I don't see the clock stopping a lot. They probably want to throw a little bit more than us, but if they're getting the things they want, then no, that won't happen. And even when they go double slot, a lot of times it can be Hawkins with his legs there too. They're just trying to get advantage and get him into space, but he throws a nice ball. They got a couple guys who, when they're in those passing situations, we got to do a nice job on. But I don't anticipate a lot of passes. And that's why possessions are huge. You got to take advantage of your possessions and not, help them out with a turnover or 3 and out. That'll be tough to overcome if you do that multiple times.
I'm going to ask you to switch hats here just for a second, from head coach to athletic director. You've had quite the fall season.
Yeah.
Football, volleyball.
Well, and great for our community and our school. We've got some really good student athletes here. I don't know if it's a surprise for either one, really. The expectation for both teams, and I think this will carry over into our winter sports too. I expect a really fun season from top to bottom as an athletic director, and that's fun too to see. Our student athletes excel, and great for the community, great for exposure for our town. Because sometimes they don't hear about us unless that's the case. So it's great exposure, and we're happy for our school and our town that we can represent them.
Good luck.
All right, thank you.